Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Yesterday night, we went live, right? Pretty late in the evening. And the reason we went live was because we got this report that LeBron James is injured, right? Now, initially when we went live, we had some of his followers come on there telling me, "Oh man, Charles, you know, you out there, you clickbaiting, you out here clickbaiting, hey, you clickbaiting, stop clickbaiting me, man, you clickbaiting," right? Because some accounts dropped some news, NBA on ESPN, Basketball Forever, they dropped this news that LeBron was injured. So these people jumped on the live thinking I was lying. They thought that I was talking about some old injuries that had kind of reared their ugly head again. So they were like, "Oh, you're lying." So we then began to get into the meat of potatoes of the reporting that we were doing, and we came across an article here. And this article that I want to read for you guys right now came from CBS Sports. Let me read it for you. The headline: LeBron James sidelined to start training camp. Lakers plan longer ramp up for star amid glute injury. Glute. It says James is sidelined with what coach JJ Redick called nerve irritation in the glute. And the plan this year is to be more cautious leading into the season. Redick wouldn't guarantee James would be on the floor for the season opener, but told reporters Tuesday that's the goal, while noting they'd like to get him some preseason action, but the most important thing is being at full strength for the regular season. Hear this part. James ended last season with a sprained MCL in the playoffs and has dealt with a variety of foot, ankle, and calf issues over the past few seasons. So, first thing, when we went live, we were not talking about any of those things that this article just mentioned at the end with the foot, the MCL, none of that. This is a brand new one. So I was like, a glute injury, glute irritation. How do you even get that? Because I remember LeBron had been playing golf, like a lot. He'd been posting on it. So I went to his Instagram last night and I saw that on September the 5th, he posted an image of himself swinging a golf club in the rain. And I'm like, well, if you have this glute irritation, how do you even play golf? Because golf, you have to use your entire body, including your glutes, to swing I forgot the damn name of the golf club. So I was confused about that. But then people kept on telling me, no, Charles, there's more to the story. LeBron is going to Kai Cenat's 1 million follower, 1 million sub celebration. And he's meant to go cut his hair. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Because I don't follow streams. I don't know most of these people, right? Ever since I've been out of the States, I've been out of the loop when it comes to a lot of this stuff. I don't know like just today, I keep seeing this guy named Speedy. And I'm like, what does he do? So I don't know what's been going on. And I'm kind of thankful because it's not adding anything to my life, to be quite honest with you. So I don't know what these guys do. I've heard of Kai Cenat. I saw him at, was it the Grammys? So I know he's very well known. I think he's from New York based on his accent. So shout out to him. Good to see a New Yorker doing well. Shout out to him. So I didn't really know. It was only after the live had concluded that I now started hearing from various people, like Raw spoke about it, that basically LeBron skipped out on the Lakers preseason practice to go to Kai Cenat's house. So later on in the evening, I see that Instagram accounts like Bleacher Report, House of Highlights, kept on posting about LeBron and Kai Cenat's house. So I eventually came across a video on YouTube from Kai Cenat's channel. They got, 500,000 views by now, right? And essentially what Kai Cenat was doing was he was giving LeBron James a tour of his $100 million property, which I think is like office and house or whatever, is absolutely incredible, somewhere in California. And LeBron is going through the house, right? Walking around. You see him in the beginning of the live or whatever they call it, the stream. He's dancing. And I'm like, hold up a second here. Hold on a second. Did this dude skip out on the first day of preseason to go attend this event. Is this what I'm led to understand? Now, it is also important to say I saw a picture of, I think they were showing the Lakers practice, and Bronny and these guys were sitting down, and LeBron was there. But he was dressed up in the outfit rather, that you saw him wearing in the Kai Cenat stream, right? He was wearing the same outfit. So I don't know if it was before he went there or after. I don't know. I don't know where these things are located out there in LA. I don't know any of this. But I just came to the conclusion that what probably occurred was this guy probably had an engagement to go attend this event for his friend Kai Cenat. And it just so happened that event fell on the day that preseason commenced. And I think what happened was the NBA basically, the Lakers basically said, this guy's dealing with a glute irritation. So therefore, he's going to go, he's not going to be able to play or participate in practice. And then they was like, okay, this is an easy out. Time for me to go over there to go to Kai Cenat's event. And in all of that, I just couldn't help but thinking about Kobe. I just couldn't help but thinking about a real Laker in Kobe. And I'm trying to put myself in the mind frame of, can you imagine that Kobe Bryant is playing basketball and he's suffering from glute irritation, and Kobe leaves the Lakers practice facility to go to a live stream? Just think about what I just described and imagine Kobe Bryant doing that. He would never do that. It would be two things that would occur. Either he would have been suffering from that injury, but he would have sat his ass in the practice all throughout. Because I've seen images of Kobe not working out, but there, sitting next to Phil Jackson the entire time. Or he would have been in the back getting treatment. Those would have been the two things. But to tell me that Kobe would have suffered a glute injury or whatever, and he would have left his team to go attend a live streaming event or whatever it is, would never happen. And that is the fundamental difference between Kobe Bryant as a Laker and LeBron James as a Laker. That is why I laugh in the face of those that suggest that LeBron should get a statue for what? For what exactly? For what? I'm sorry, Kai, my bro, I can't do it. Dogs, I can't do it. Because it's not going to be a good look for my team, and I don't think it's setting the right example. Even if I ask my teammates, is it cool with them? But if my leader asks me that, I'm like, this guy's not serious, man. This guy's not serious. Even if you're not playing, you're supposed to be here with us, bro. You're supposed to be here with us. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Kai, being in that event, maybe that's what pays him $52 million a year. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Because I thought the Lakers paying $52.6 million this year. But who am I? Silly me. Silly moi. So let's get into this story here. So we followed this story pretty closely. We've talked about it as information came out surrounding Molly Qerim's abrupt departure from ESPN First Take. We covered her comments. Then Stephen A. Smith went and did his show. And then later on, we found out that ultimately it was about money. He made an entire show talking about contracts and overvaluing yourself and not understanding whether or not you have leverage or not. And then said it had nothing to do with that. And then we later on find out that one of the reasons she did leave, or probably the biggest reason that she departed from the network, had to do with money, right? So we've gone through all of that. Now, I got to say this. At the time, I was confused about it. And I want to give a big shout out to the audience because people were letting me know, like, yo, son, you lost. You lost in the sauce with this story. Dumb me. I thought Molly was coming back. I thought she was going to return. People had to let me know, son, she's never coming back. Do you know when they let me know this? When we did a show about someone that was auditioning for her role, when I was reacting to it, I'm like, I don't understand. And people are like, bro, Charles, she's not coming. It's over. It's over. So people had to kind of hit me up to what was going on there. I didn't understand what was going on at the time, and that's why it's good to have a smart audience and have smart people around you, because they can educate you at times. So I didn't know. So appreciate you guys for pretty much filling me in on that. But anyway, was doing some research this morning, and I came across some news as it pertains to Molly Qerim. There are two articles I want to read from. The first one is the big lead. The other one is from Mark. Let's start with the big lead. It has the following headline stating this: Molly Qerim announces surprising first appearance after shock ESPN First Take exit. And I'm like, oh, is that so? Let's continue on. The article then states, Molly Qerim has become synonymous with ESPN First Take, having spent a decade hosting and moderating the show. So it came as a shocker early this month when Qerim abruptly left the show. This came after news broke that she was leaving the network at the end of the year. Regardless, there's been a lot of speculation about the reason for Qerim's departure, but she hasn't spoken about it. Questions about whether she might take her talents about where she'll take her talents next have also arisen, with no clear answers on that frontier either. And while her long-term future remains uncertain, we now know when and what her next public appearance will be. Then continues on. The former First Take host will moderate a Q&A with UConn's men's basketball coach, Dan Hurley, Wednesday night at the Student Union Theater on the school's Storrs campus. The New York Post reported. It then continues on. Qerim is an alumnus of UConn, so a setting like this is perfect for her to return to the limelight. With the Huskies having achieved much success going into another season with big expectations, it should be an interesting Q&A with Hurley as well. Fans are unlikely to find out more about Qerim's exit during this appearance. Those details will likely arrive later. ESPN executives have revealed that she was set to be taken off First Take even before she left. Which Qerim has yet to address. In any case, it'll be good to see the sportscaster back and doing what she does best. So that's what that article said here. We have another one from Mark. I just want to quickly touch on it. It says, Molly Qerim forgets First Take as she confirms return to new role. He says her actions after the ESPN's experience demonstrates both her experience in the field and family heritage, which led her to a place of work, UConn, a homecoming at UConn. Qerim will host a Q&A with UConn's men's basketball coach Dan Hurley in the Student Union Theater on the campus's Storrs campus. This session is one of the Never Stop series by Hurley that focuses on resilience, leadership, and personal growth. And then this is the post here. It says join Hurley, blah blah blah. $40 for adults, $35 for $35. What? $35? Man, y'all are better than me. I ain't paying no damn $35 for nothing. But anyway, I ain't got it. And then the article basically goes on to say a few other things. Then Molly, she then posted on her Twitter. And she posted a picture of herself wearing her former school's jersey or whatever. You guys can look at it here. And she goes, UConn basketball love, right? So Molly's doing her thing. No, this is an old picture, but anyway, that's her there. So what are my thoughts about this? Few thoughts. Number one, good for Molly. Good for Molly. She's staying active. She's staying busy, which is good. Number two, it seems like Molly made a lot of connections throughout the sports world, hence the fact that she has this opportunity here. Good for her. Good thing that her former university, is showing her love. That's good for her there as well. And after the news broke, people spoke about whether or not Molly would go to various places. Of course, FS1 came up as a possible destination. You guys remember FS1 did a lot of cord cutting early this year. They got rid of a lot of shows, a lot of names like Emmanuel Acho, Joy Taylor, Craig Carton, Keyshawn Johnson, Paul Pierce, LaShawn McCoy. By the way, you guys know that Emmanuel Acho and these guys are gone from at least the TV shows, but he has a new show, and I'm noticing the episodes are being published on the YouTube channel Speak, which used to be the channel so I don't know how they were able to work that one out, but I've noticed that as well. So who knows? Maybe Molly will get an opportunity to work at FS1. We certainly know that they're going to be looking for some hosts and some great moderators. We don't know the shows that they have coming down the turnpike. I guess we have to see, wait and see what these shows are going to be. Funny enough, speaking of Joy Taylor, a lot of people have also speculated on whether or not Joy Taylor will get the role on ESPN First Take. I doubt, given some of the people that that I've heard that are interviewing for that particular role. I doubt it will be Joy Taylor that gets that role there. But in terms of Molly, man, it's good for her, man. It's good for her. At the time we did the show, at the time we were reacting to the story, some people thought that I was overvaluing Molly because according to reports, she was earning $500,000 a year working on that show for 10 years. And I said that $500,000 to work on a show like that isn't a lot of money. Not that $500,000 isn't a lot of money. Obviously it is, right? You're damn near in the 1% of earners in the United States. The point I was making was there are people in the sports industry who are also female that go on sports shows and they don't even go every day. And they're making $500,000. And they're not working nearly as hard as Molly in terms of being present, traveling. So that's the point that I was trying to make. Not that, the 500,000 isn't a lot of money. That's not the point I was trying to make. I was just trying to say, like, damn, you're working on a show where the host, not the show, the star of the show is making 20 M's a year, and you can't even get one? I'm actually supposed to be off. It's Independence Day here in Nigeria, but shout out to everybody celebrating Independence Day in Nigeria. But hey, we got to do what we got to do. So, as you guys know, Media Day was on Monday. We heard from a lot of people, and one of the people that I think a lot of fans were eager to hear from was Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was there, and essentially, everyone was anticipating who was going to ask Kawhi about this scandal that's going on between the Clippers himself and Aspiration, the company that allegedly defrauded a lot of people. So people were waiting to hear from Kawhi. Prior to that, we've been hearing a lot of reporting from Pablo Torre. We heard the team owner, Steve Ballmer, discuss this. We even heard Lawrence Frank, the team president, discuss this. But ultimately, we were looking to hear from Kawhi Leonard. So eventually, when Kawhi Leonard took to the podium and it was his time to be questioned by reporters, Ramona Shelburne of ESPN was the one to essentially ask him about this ongoing investigation and his role in it and his knowledge of it. So what we want to do is play the interaction between Ramona Shelburne and Kawhi Leonard. I want you guys to listen to that in its entirety, and I'm going to come back and continue on with the show. Take a listen to their exchange here. Take a listen to that.
Hi, Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. What is your understanding of the endorsement deal that you had with the company that's being talked about, Aspiration, and did you perform any services for them?
When you say understanding, what do you mean?
Like of the contract you signed and how much money you were to receive, what you were supposed to perform for those services?
I understand that full contract and the services that I had to do. Like I said, I don't deal with the conspiracies or the clickbait analysts or journalism that's going on. So that's what it is.
Well, I think the allegation was that you didn't perform any services for them. Is that accurate, or did you do things for them?
I don't think it's accurate, but it's old. This is all new to you guys. The company went bankrupt a while ago, so we already knew this was going to happen. So,
you were named as like the largest creditor in the bankruptcy filing, right? Did you actually get the money that was owed to you in the contract, or?
No. But the company went belly up. It was fraud, as everybody knows. If you want any more questions or more details about that company, you can either ask the owner or whoever else is involved in the fraud that went on.
Right. I think they said they owed you $7 million or something, right?
I'm not sure. I gotta look back at the books, but no, it's more than that for sure.
Do you have any idea of how much you actually made on that?
No, it was like 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Excellent. So you heard what they had to say. So this morning, Mitch sent me over a topic here from fadeawayworld.net. You notice I don't be saying a lot of these websites names no more, because some of y'all don't be shouting out people. Some of y'all be getting topics from creators like us, and y'all don't never give nobody no credit. So I'm gonna stop saying y'all names until y'all start giving some love to these independent creators. I'm gonna say your name now, but some of y'all be acting like y'all didn't hear where y'all heard the story from. But anyway, let me get into what this article says. It says Kawhi Leonard is lying to you there. The players keep track of every dollar. David Sampson. So David Sampson is part of Dan Le Batard's podcast, right? You've seen him on there. Pablo Torre has also been on there as well. So let's get into what the report has to say here. It says Kawhi Leonard has never been one for words, but his recent comments at the Los Angeles Clippers media day about the $28 million aspiration deal have drawn plenty of attention. Asked about the scandal, Leonard downplayed the controversy, saying it didn't pay much attention to headlines and insisting that he and the Clippers committed no wrongdoing. But David Sampson, former MLB executive and current media personality, was not buying Leonard's explanation. In fact, Sampson accused the Clippers star of outright dishonesty on his show. Now, I want to read a little bit of what he had to say here. Kawhi meets the media and wanted to get a point across to you. And he did it in a way that, to me, indicates there's way more going on here. I want you to listen to Ramona Shelburne grill Kawhi Leonard. So that part played on. And then it says, let me just start by telling you, Kawhi is lying to you there. And it's not even a question. I've been around players for decades. These players keep track of every dollar. Let me start with that. There's not one player who does an endorsement deal and then says, I'm sorry. What did I get paid for that? Doesn't work that way. They know it down to the $500. When you sign a $28 million endorsement deal, you are aware that it's $28 million and you're sure as hell what you're owed. So when you're asked, hey, did you do anything for that money? He said, I don't know. I think so. Doesn't exactly remember. I'm not buying it. Players don't forget. Did they stop at a car dealership? Did they film a commercial? Did they like a tweet? Which they never did. Did you forward a tweet? Did you do anything? It's his only and biggest endorsement deal. More money than New Balance. His shoe deal. Oh, I can't remember. I don't know what I did. All right, fine. I can't remember. I'm getting paid. Give me a small break. It's just not credible. This is damaging. Because essentially what he's saying is that son is up there lying through his teeth. He's up there lying through his teeth. That in fact, he's fully aware of what is going on here. Now, my thoughts on this are the following. I don't think Kawhi Leonard should have made any statement at all. I don't think he should have made any statement at all. If it was me, I'd have been like, I'll let my representation answer any questions as it pertains to that particular issue. Period. End of story. I would have left it at that. Do you know why? For reasons just like this. Because anything you say, no matter how frivolous you may think it is, or inconsequential you may think it is, people can come back and say, "Oh, whoa!" They can now start peeling through your words, and that's essentially what's happening here. And he's saying, as a former executive in baseball, I know players very well, especially when it comes to dealing with contract. And these guys know they don't leave anything to chance. Things don't happen by happenstance. Now, I don't know what's going on here. Ultimately, the investigation will be concluded after the All-Star break. Wink, wink. The NBA made that clear because the All-Star break is in LA and Intuit Dome Arena. Wink, wink. But that's when we can ultimately come to a definitive conclusion of whether or not there was any wrongdoing. as you guys know, maybe some of you know, I said I'm going to be covering the Lakers a lot more this year from a positive standpoint because, folks, LeBron James is going to be gone by the end of this year. We thank God. We thank God, right? We thank God. And after his latest antic that he pulled yesterday, you can see why a lot of us are just simply can't wait for this guy to be gone. All right, we just can't wait. Some of y'all are, what antic did he pull? Do you know now LeBron is suffering from a new injury called glute irritation, glute nerve irritation or something like that? And a lot of us are like, where did this injury come from? We know about the sprained MCL. We know about the ankle. We know about the foot. We know about the calf. Where did the glute one come from? The guy's been playing golf all summer long. Where did that one occur? Right, so he was held out of training camp yesterday. Next thing you know, he attended Cenat. I'm like, well, what is this? Like, the nonsense has already started. We're already there with it. So you can understand why a lot of us are just like, bro, let's just like, enough is enough. At the end of the season, everybody should pack their bag. Everybody would give you a high five. Thank you for your service. All right, man, catch you on the next one. I catch you on Up and Up. You out. Like, be gone. So we got that. But if you listen to things that have been said about LeBron, one of the things that people have said is that, you know, he has this extreme dedication to his fitness, being in tip-top shape, etc. And during that Cenat stream, I guess y'all call it, someone was walking around with this big ass jug of water. Bro, did y'all see the size of that jug? That was too big, number one. Number two, what happened to a bottle of water? I mean, I get what drinking... I'm a billionaire, for God's sakes. I must be moving around with my assistant. Before we leave the house, bring 3 or 4 bottles. Keep them in the car. When this one is finished in my hand, go get me another bottle. That's just the way. I'm not walking around with no briefcase that's supposed to be a jug. So anyway, I thought that was like that. Did y'all see how big the thing is? Looked like a damn flask that he was walking around. But anyway, I thought that was pretty fun. Like, this dude is giving himself a work. The flask was so big that I can swear to you, LeBron was getting tired of walking around that house. Every time they stopped at a new room, he sat down somewhere. They went to the bathroom, he sat on the sink. They went to this other room, he sat on the ledge. Everywhere they went, I would be tired too walking around with that briefcase of a water bottle. But anyway, I digress. So we know that LeBron, you know, we're going to train Luka. Luka going to show Luka how to do some sit-ups and all. So he always has his reputation. So I was going through the internet here, and I came across a report that really surprised me, given the amount of twerking that goes on out there in LA. But for this guy in the media, I come across an article here, and it says the following headline. It states this. It says, JJ Redick shares a surprising choice for a Laker who has worked hard on his body. He's been the best player in the gym. And I'm like, well, he must be talking about LeBron James, right? Folks, he ain't talking nowhere close to Mr. LeBron James. So let me get into what this article has to say. It says, the NBA offseason gives players the long-awaited chance to work on themselves, whether refining their skills, strengthening their bodies, or sharpening their minds. One player who seemingly has done at least one of those things, thus making the most of the recent months, is Austin Reaves, believe it or not. Reaves head coach with the Los Angeles Lakers, JJ Redick, recently commented as much while accompanied by General Manager Rob Pelinka speaking to the media ahead of the 2025-26 press conference. It says, Reaves' summer grind. NBA players often flaunt their offseason transformations on social media. Those curious whether Reaves has bulked up can check out his posts online. Alternatively, they can simply listen to what Redick, fresh off a contract extension and about to begin his second season for the Lakers Echo, had to say. This is what it says. Let's get to this part. It says, Redick's comments come after a journalist mentioned that he had heard whispers that Reaves, usually very low-key this summer, has been in the lab probably more than anybody. Here it comes. Responding, Redick joked that this was when he's not on the golf course, nodding to Reaves' reputation as one of the league's top part-time golfers. However, then shifted to more serious note. The coach highlighted his player's dedication, saying, Hillbilly Kobe has been pushing his body to a new level after hitting the gym every single day. And then he says, his body is really good right now. He's really strong. His bursts, his athleticism, it's evident that he spent a lot of time working on his body this summer. Redick added during the half-hour-long press conference, and then the article then goes on to say a few other things. Now, I want to quickly read some other news around Austin Reaves before we continue on. This is another article that says Austin Reaves admits he doesn't want to be an all-star on a bad team. Let me just quickly read what he had to say here. It says, I feel like I could be an all-star, said Reaves. Well, all that is my opinion, relative. Thank God I play with Luka and LeBron. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm just going out chucking, getting numbers. If that maps for me to be an all-star, I don't care about that. He then says, I want to win. If that means being a third option, then that's what I'm going to do. That's what I did last year and blah, blah, blah. So he said that as well. And he also said from another Yahoo Sports article that his goal is to be a Laker forever, right? Although they said he's pushing for a major contract after this season, because I think he's on an expiring contract. So what are my thoughts about this? Well, first of all, it's good to see that on this particular episode of what's going on with the Lakers, honey wasn't slung. Because, when it comes to JJ Redick and the media and these guys, they always got a pack in a back pocket. They're always ready to dap you up with a handful of honey. Like, they're just always ready to twerk it up. So to hear that finally somebody else got some damn credit on his team, it's fantastic, right? And it seems like these guys are really, really serious about their conditioning. Obviously, you know what happened with Luka Doncic this offseason. Son went in the lab. I think he said that he didn't play basketball for like 2 months straight or something. He said that is something that he had never done in his life, where he didn't play basketball for such a long period of time. So Luka seems to be in a tip-top shape. Reaves seems to be in tip-top shape. This is all great to hear. I don't know if that's going to turn them into better defenders. Obviously, it does help to be in great shape physically to play great defense, but a lot of it is just an effort thing, man. It's a mental thing. And when y'all are calling him Hillbilly Kobe, I guess I don't see the connection, but I guess because Kobe played defense. Like, Son was playing defense. Go look all the way back to 2000. Son was playing defense. So I don't know where y'all getting all of this Hillbilly Kobe. I don't get the joke behind it. I don't know the gist. Maybe some people hit me up to what it means with the Hillbilly Kobe stuff. I don't know what that means. Obviously, Kobe Bryant was his favorite player. I get all of that. But it's a good sign, and it's also a better sign to see that the twerking has stopped finally. Like, it's okay. You can give somebody else some credit. But I know what these jokers are going to do is if Austin Reaves starts playing well and he's in tip-top shape, they probably going to say he worked out with LeBron this summer. LeBron showed him how to do a push-up. They always going to find a way to give LeBron James some credit anyway. I mean, this is what they do. Y'all already know how diabolical these people are. Y'all already know. They ready to give that dude credit for nothing. For nothing.